Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to Gothman's Epic Stuff, and today I have some epic stuff. So obviously Halloween is coming. You can see I'm wearing my contacts today because I got something special over here. A new Palpatine mask. And so you guys have seen me review the Palpatine lightsaber. You guys have seen me do a number of Star Wars things. And obviously, I am extremely into cosplay. I love dressing up, not necessarily going to cons and stuff. I just like doing it for myself. I like to wear the costumes and, you know, be an idiot. And so Palpatine is always one of my favorite characters because he's just so over the top. The grandeur is through the roof. It's why I like Skeletor. People like that. And so I wanted to show you guys this silicone Palpatine mask, which I just recently got from France on Etsy. I will link the description in below where the, the thing, so you can go find it. It's a really affordable mask. It's a half mask. It's really cool. I'm going to show it to you. Yeah, so let's hit the intro and then let's try it out.
Behold, my stuff.
So this is the silicone Palpatine mask. It is not a full neck cowl mask. It's just designed to go to the neck, which means you're basically supposed to do makeup on the rest of your neck in order to blend it and make it match. That works just fine for me. Something else you'll notice is that the ears are completely sealed. So that means you're not going to be able to hear great out of this. It's going to sound like you're in a tunnel. So you can put mesh on the inside with Silpoxy and then cut the ear holes out for yourself. I may do that. I may not. It really depends on in what capacity I'll be wearing it. There is a seam line to a degree here that you can see, but again, I'm probably going to have my friend Billy put some hair through this on that hairline, so I don't think it'll be that big a deal. There's lots to really go over with this. The brow is very heavy, which is lovely. It's a very heavy mask. It's much heavier than my Papa 2. Well, it's not my Papa 2, but the Papa 2 that's currently in my house. I have a placard that I got from the clasp. I'm probably going to be hacking this off to about here, and then using this to display it when I'm not wearing it. And I think that'll look really cool. And you can see that's Palpatine right there. You can see that heavy brow piece, which is required in that little cleft in the chin. And you could see this Palpatine has that heavy brow piece and that cleft in the chin. Now, what I like about this Palpatine is it's not 35-year-old Ian. It's closer to what he looked like in the prequels and the sequels. And this mask will do that for me. So it's already got the eye makeup built in a little bit, so I would just have to match it, which will work. There are nostrils, so you can breathe in it. And the mouth does have articulation. So there are lips, and by lips I mean not his lips, I mean like little extra pieces of silicone that your actual lips catch on and move, kind of like a puppet. And so you do get some mouth articulation. You do get some of this adhering to your face like a second skin. Again, it's not as thin as the Papa 2, so I don't get quite the range of expression out of this that I do as the Papa 2, but the Papa 2 is a lot thinner. There's so much more to the Palpatine face that it really does require exaggerated movement to get some of that. But at the end of the day, I'm not filming a movie with this thing. I'm just trying to get a look, and I want to be able to speak, and I don't want to sit down for an hour and put on latex prosthetics. And then, you know, with latex prosthetics, unless you have a mold, they're pretty much useless after you cast one. So this allows me to be Palpatine instantaneously, anytime I want, beard or no beard, doesn't matter. Although I will say, if you shave it down to like 5 o'clock, like this, then it's going to catch on that silicone a little bit. So I really like the paint job. So if we really get in here and look, it's very, very subtle. It's tinted. It's got some white. It's got some pink. It's just, silicone just has a look that latex doesn't get. There's this translucency that skin has that latex can't do. And it really does have a great Palpatine look. You guys remember the latex one that I did, and it just doesn't compare. This is just a complete out-of-the-world home run mask to have. And finding a silicone Palpatine is a bit of a pain in the butt. And if you can find them, they tend to be like $600–700, which is not unreasonable, but it's not what I wanted to spend. And this gentleman was selling these masks without a full neck piece for a very reasonable amount. And I had to have one because I knew that Palpatine was something I wanted to do a lot of videos with going forward. So again, this mask is very, very pretty. It looks very, very good. And if you wait 2 seconds, I'll put the mask on and I'll show you a little bit of articulation, and then I'll throw some cosplay clips at the end for some fun.
Okay, so the mask is now on, and it sounds really weird to me, but I'm assuming the audio sounds fine. So again, the lips tuck under into mine on the bottom and the top, and that gives you the ability to move the mask a little bit. I can smile, and you get a little bit of smile. I can... What you really don't get is your teeth. The teeth don't really come through, which is very Ian, and so you do kind of want teeth to show when you're doing the Emperor, but it, you know, sacrifices depending. If you did a latex thing, then you would have all that articulation, but you don't. You have a mask, and like I said, you can really squeeze this onto your noodle, and then you get a lot more articulation in the mask. You can't lip read, but it's enough. Now, if I wanted to exaggerate, you'll get a lot more movement. So if I wanted to be like, young Skywalker, come to the dark side. Oh, no. No, 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 you will die. And so the more you exaggerate, the better it works. But overall, it feels comfortable. I have a somewhat average, above average size head, so I think this would be loose on most people. I don't have much of a jawline, which I think does prevent this from adhering like this. If this was this tight against my face, then I get a lot more articulation out of the speaking. But because my jawline is a little weaker than the average guy, I don't get that sort of suction. So if I really wanted to try to pull the mask back tight on my face, I get a little bit better articulation. So you can see a lot more of how it goes. But then that puts a lot of strain on my eyes because it's very heavy on the lids. And so, you know, you're always just kind of pulling it back against your skin and doing that. So it's really, really nice. And if you haven't done silicone before, I recommend getting one because latex can't do this. It cannot. And anybody who tells you differently probably sells latex masks. Latex display great. I have several. But at the end of the day, there's something to be said for the convenience of what silicone offers. To remove, we slide, and we slide. Thanks to my friend CB Studios out in Australia, who's helped me learn everything I needed to know about silicone masks. And if you don't follow his channel, please give it a follow, because he's the man, and he has tons of cool shit, including latex masks. If you like latex masks, especially horror masks, check his channel out. He reviews masks of all kind. Storing my silicone mask, because this is so brow heavy, and because this is such a heavy, top-heavy mask, something like this works just fine. You really do want to get a stone display for your latex masks. Something like the Papa, which is very low heavy. If I put it on one of these, it'll droop. But Palpatine here can handle this purely because the weight is top heavy and there's no neck piece. So this will display really nicely on this. And because it's silicone, it holds a very nice shape. Tilty, bro. Tilty, bro. And you end up with just this really great looking display. And this would look great on a mannequin. So if you wanted to set up a mannequin, you could easily set that up. As far as eyes go, any contacts that you like will do it. The all whites with the black rims will do it. These are my Geralt contacts, so the light ring is going to F this up a little bit. But they're essentially yellow, orange, and then black rimmed. Plenty fine for Palpatine. It doesn't matter. You could really go the hardcore yellow and red with the Sith and all that. But Ian never really wore those. Ian's were always like solid yellow with like a black rim. So those crow eyes are actually a lot better. In my opinion, it looks better. Plus, with the heavy brow, shadow is going to cast on your eyes like I'm doing right now. And so you want a brighter contact so that it'll actually show. Assuming you're not going to take photos and go in and do Photoshop later and spice it up a little bit. But in the end, you could do one of two different ways with this kind of a mask. This guy, you could do the Death of Mace Windu version, where he's in the red robes and he just gets zapped. That would require some hair, which could be very easily accomplished just by a wizard's beard. and then you could silpoxy some hair right onto that if you wanted to do that. You could do spirit gum, just so it's temporary, and just sort of have that little bit of hair on the back, and just use a piece of beer to just bloop and call it a day. If you're doing the hood, then you don't need the hair, and then you could just do the hood. But I really, really like it. You can see there's veins airbrushed throughout this thing. They really get in there and with the pigment and let it sit. The lips have a different discoloration. He kind of has a little bit of a pigment well up on the end of his nose, so it kind of looks like a pimple, but I actually kind of feel like that adds some character to it, like it's a real face, because he's supposed to be old and ugly, so he wouldn't have, like, super flawlessness. So I was going to modify that, but I think I'm going to keep it. And then, of course, just the sculpt in general is really high-end, man. Like, this thing looks great. You see it, you know immediately what it is. Now, if you put this next to Ian, is it going to look exactly like him? Probably not. But considering this is not a professional prop shop, this is a private maker. It's friggin' phenomenal. Really, really impressive. There's some bubbling, but again, those little bubbles and dots add to what I feel is the imperfections and the texture of an evil face, which I like. And again, like I said, if you silpoxied some mesh in here, you could cut this little bit right out here so you could hear. It does have nostril holes, which is great. I'd like them to be a little bigger. I may trim away some of that, but they don't line up with my nostrils. They're about like half an inch in front of my nostrils, but it's still enough that I can breathe. The paint in the eyes, like I said, is really, really great. And the neckline is such that it kind of, because of the way they cut it, this doesn't sit thick away from your neck. They cut it at an angle so it goes flush against your skin, which means you could blend that with makeup perfectly. So that's great. And like I said, I would splice a few videos of me in costume at the end of this video. Like, here's a picture of me as Palpatine, just sort of messing around with my black robes. Then here's one of me in the red robes. And I did do some dialogue and stuff, so I'll put that at the end of the video for fun. But I just want to do a quick video, 15 minutes, and show you guys this mask. And it's really worth it. Check the link in the description below. Keep an eye out. I have some really cool stuff coming. That includes lineage props from Evil Dead 2 and The Highlander. So I'm super stoked. Hope you guys check it out. I will also have some new Babylon 5 stuff coming up that I can't wait to show you guys. Lots of cool stuff coming in October and November for me, because I just have access to a lot of stuff to build right now. So I'm going to be bopping out a lot of stuff for you guys. If you're on the Knights of Samaria, you already know what most of my time is occupied right now. We're in the middle of a huge project, huge artistic endeavor. For the fans, for the community, so that we can all have some really great stuff. And yeah, man, it's a great time to build. It's a great time to be doing stuff. A lot of cool He-Man stuff's coming out, so maybe I'll pick up some of that and check it out. But in general, I just want to thank everybody for, as usual, visiting the channel. And it is Wednesday today, so I'm going to go watch Andor. And so thank you again. May the Force be with you. And remember, if you can't build it, buy it. Yeah.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus. Now unleash your hate. Only your hate can destroy me, young Skywalker. Oh, that was very scary. Yes, I should definitely say that. Should I wear the red? Maybe the black. Hood? No hood. Yes. Power! Unlimited power!